This is the big thing that guys fail. They get to a place where they're getting a positive reaction from their wife and they're like, oh, okay, this working. I guess I can stop now. The work never stops. Okay. The work never stops. When you get to this positive reaction, keep doing the shit that got you there. Secretly, she was recollecting her strength and starting to pick out the little issues that she would use against me. There is still some fear, uncertainty, and doubt about this new way of things around the house, and she will test it. Since things were going so well, I let little things go. She gave me an occasional order instead of a request. She'd start throwing little tantrums about the kids or things that need to get done around the house. I would just ignore them instead of more proactive responses to nip them in the bud. In fact, I'm still struggling with this. None of them escalated, so I didn't think anything of it. The backlash, okay? But then Aunt Flo comes knocking again. The frustration with the kids and house chores come back. Then the moods, then the cramps, headaches, and before you know it, the box of tampons are on the counter. In my case, things were still in pretty good shape going into the cycle. She changed quickly. As she became more uncomfortable and frustrated, she got back into the mode of avoiding or defending my advances. She became noticeably less playful, and since we stopped having sex for a few days, the attraction momentum trailed off. Almost overnight, we seemed to go right back to our old ways. My natural reaction was to get discouraged, give up, and resign myself to the conclusion that this was just the way it was going to be. I lost my incentive to make it work and turned my attention to just living my life while minimizing the wreckage of my home life. The true rebuild. Let's see here. Yes, this is the last section I want to read. Stop this. Okay. The true rebuild. Once this cleared, months of a long, slow slog through the crap have passed now. The difference was that we had hit a tipping point. And she now knew the new world order, and her only choice was to be on board or move on. Things are improving slowly. She's starting to truly internalize that I am a new man. That is good for her. That is good for her. That she actually prefers her new role and is more comfortable there. She, of course, unconsciously tests me and will throw unbelievable crap at me to see how or if I react. And this is why the work never stops, because the more women see that you're changing, the more they want to test you to make sure this is the real you. And until like you've consistently been passing these fitness and comfort tests for a long time, until she truly believes this new you is the new you, she's going to test you more, right? If you want to reduce that, I recommend reading this sort of thing in private. Don't tell her you're working on this stuff. Just don't talk about it, just be about it. Because if she knows you're working on this stuff, she's going to not believe it even more and test you even more, right? It's better to do a sort of a sneak attack on that sort of thing. Let's see here. Here's what most men, okay, so the point. Main event is about holding frame, not negotiating or comforting, okay? Also, the work never stops. And here's what most men don't realize. Winning the main event isn't the end. It's not happily ever after. It's just the start of the real game. Because the moment you slip, lose focus, or soften back into comfort, she's going to test you, right? She'll look for cracks. And if you fail the follow through, everything you rebuilt will crumble. And the next time, she won't give you another shot, right? So coming up, I'll show you exactly how to lock in that victory and make sure you never face another main event again, because she'll know deep down that she can't replace you, okay? Before we get into that, though, guys, get in Beer Club. Beer.comeonmanpod.com. This Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time is our monthly hangout, the May hangout. Go to beer.comeonmanpod.com. Get in there. I know you think you're a lone wolf, okay? But lone wolves starve in the winter, okay? Wolf packs thrive. We are building a community. We have over 50 guys in there. They're all leveling up. They're in various areas of their life. They're in dead bedrooms that they're turning around. There's guys that are post-divorce that are back on the dating circuit again, that are swapping notes about what works and what doesn't. Right? We have guys in there that are losing tons of weight. We have 2 guys that are fixing major health issues just by how much weight they've lost. It's phenomenal to watch these guys putting the work. Get in there. Okay. Iron sharpens iron. Beer.comeonmanpod.com. Let me play a commercial for that since we have our hangout this Thursday, and then we'll wrap up with the last segment. Here's a harsh truth that everybody gets upset about online when I say it. They get upset because of their ego investment into the fairy tale idea of love and partnership. They get upset because of their ego investment into the idea that their woman is their best friend, their confidant, and they think that love will conquer all, and that their woman will be there through thick and thin. The truth is that as a man, your woman is hardwired biologically and psychologically to want you to be her rock. It doesn't work the other way around. Women do not care about your struggles as a man. They may think they care. They may even want to care, but her evolutionary DNA will not let her care. If you bring her your problems, she will lose attraction for you over time, and she will leave. Now, whenever I talk about this, people lose their minds and start talking about men unaliving themselves. The faster that men learn that women don't care about our struggles, the faster we'll save the lives of men. Men off themselves because of their own ego investments in the Disney fairy tale lie. And when that fairy tale goes up in flames, they get zeroed out and they end things. Men do need a proper outlet for dealing with their problems, but going to their woman isn't the answer. Men need a tribe. They need a brotherhood. That's why I created my beer club. It's a monthly virtual hangout for men only. It's a place where men can be men. It's a place where men can talk about guy stuff without having to worry about offending women. It's a place where they can go without having to worry about being called toxically masculine. It's a place where they can go to solve their problems. Because men solve problems, women cause problems, you dig? Visit beer.comeonmanpod.com. That's beer.comeonmanpod.com to sign up. Yes, indeed. And then, guys, if you want to work with me directly, you can go to call.fixdeadbedrooms.com and book an appointment with me. But I'm going to make sure that you read the book first. All right. If I have to convince you to work with me by selling you on what I'm all about, we're wasting each other's time. Okay. Get the book, start applying it. You'll know what I'm about. You'll know my shit works. But if you need help with it, that's what that's for. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the solution. Navigating the main event like a leader. So here's the thing. How do you handle the main event? Well, how would you handle any argument with your girl? Think of it like that. Don't overthink this stuff, because one of the things that Ryan points out in Dread is that if you're looking for the main event, you're still operating under a covert contract, and every little spat is probably not a main event. Right? Like, you're going to know when it happens, because it's going to be like ugly crying and a knockdown, drag out fight. Okay. But how you handle every interaction with your wife is how you handle everything. Right? So you're going to want to hold frame, be assertive, stand your ground. Right? And there's different tools for that. Right? There's different tools for that. We have, agree and amplify. We have indifference. We have fogging. We have negative assertion, negative inquiry. There's all sorts of ways to not get dragged into her emotional roller coaster. And that's really where you need to be. Just like any other argument or whatever with your wife, you have to be a rock. Okay. And if you get into your emotions and she's able to, get you up in your feels and you start yelling, and smashing and whatever, you failed. You failed the test. Okay. And most guys don't realize how reactive they are because they have no mental frame. So you have to work on your mental frame or you're going to fail this. And that's why I have Frame Fridays. That's why it's so important. A lot of guys think like the frame and mindset stuff is boring. They want to learn about how to get more and shit, right? But it's like the frame stuff is so important because it's going to fix everything, including getting more bro. You want to validate indirectly. Okay. Acknowledge that this sucks, but don't change your stance. Right? You basically acknowledge her feelings in the moment. That's kind of where fogging is helpful. Fogging is basically like an agree without the amplify. It's like agree with indifference. So when she gets all pissed off and she's upset, you're like, yeah, I can see why you would be upset by that. Right? But you're not taking ownership for it. You're not apologizing for it. You're just acknowledging her feelings. So I would say fogging and Luca would be really helpful here. Right? Luca stands for listen, understand, clarity, action. It's a communication model. Again, I talk about it quite a bit in Get Her to F You Again, if you really want to understand how that works. But it's really about validating her feelings without apologizing for it. Okay. You don't need to own her emotions. There's nothing for you to apologize for. You need to remain calm and as detached as possible.
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe now.